This is a demonstration of how to manage photos for your yearbook in Memento Yearbook. When you first log into your book, you'll be on the Book Manager screen where you can see your pages. To upload photos directly in Memento Yearbook, go to the Yearbook Photo Albums link on the left-hand side. Inside this area, you will see albums if they've already been created, where you can access your photos, add new photos, create new albums, and manage your images. Any photo that is placed into a yearbook photo album will be available to add to your pages in the editor. To add a new album, click on the New Album tile and give it a name. Add the album. The new album will appear in a list with any existing album alphabetically. The new album will not show any image since there are no photos in it yet. To add photos to an album, click into the album where you will see there's no photos, and the only option is to click on the Upload Photo button. This will open up your computer's file management system where you can select images. You can select them one at a time, hold Control or Command on a Mac to select multiple photos, or do Control or Command A to select all of the images. Click Open to start the upload process. The time it takes to upload these images will depend on your internet connection, but generally it will go fairly quickly. You will see in the top right corner the upload progress, the number of images that have gone up, and once it's completed, all the images will appear in this area. When you're in a yearbook photo album, you can manage the images in that folder. So to select a photo, just mouse over it and you can click to select it. To select more than one image, hold the Shift key and you can select as many photos as you like. Once you have an image selected, you'll see that the menu items over the images will appear. You can move images between folders. So by clicking on the Move Photo button, you can pick an existing photo album, or you can create a new one that will transfer the photos into a different collection. You can delete photos, of course, and if you need to do some detailed retouching in an editing software, you can actually download the images to your computer, making them available to use in other applications. Note that the yearbook photo albums are not meant as a means to collect photos for your other applications at your school, or to collect a repository of images for your end of the year projects and slideshows. They are to be used in your yearbook. Downloading them is only intended to help you make some editing changes to them, not to transfer the entire collection offline. To unselect photos, click on Select None, and the selections will be removed. There are some display options available. Click on the little menu icon in the top right-hand corner, 3 little dots, where you can choose to show or hide file names underneath the photos. You can show photos that only you uploaded. So if anyone else contributed to a folder, you'll be able to sort them out to only see the ones that you, under your user login, have added. You can sort the photos in the order of the date and time they were uploaded, or you can change it to show them alphabetically by name. You can also change the order of those images, showing alphabetically first to last or last to first. Let's take a look at what happens when we try to move a photo from one collection to the other. I'm going to select this one and we're going to move it into an existing album. Let's send this one to the playground. If I select that, I'll move it and it will move out of this collection. To go back up to look at all your folders, click on the V next to the folder name. Now you'll see that the kindergarten photos that we just uploaded will have an image thumbnail displaying within it. And we can go check on the playground collection, where we will find that the image that we moved from one folder to the other has now appeared in the correct place. Organizing your photos into small collections or albums is a very wonderful way to help you get your yearbook project done very efficiently. Selecting only the best possible candidate images that may actually appear on your pages rather than a clutter of dozens and dozens of images per section is a way to guarantee that your design process will go quite smoothly. One of the things that you can do is to take a look at your photos before you even start designing your page, taking a look at ones that are most likely not going to make it to your pages and removing them right away. For instance, perhaps we've decided this image isn't something we'd like to see in our book since it doesn't actually show any of the faces of the students. We can select it and delete it so that it won't be considered to be added to the page. Having a nice tidy collection makes it easier to select only the best photos to put onto your yearbook page and reduce clutter. We can go back and take a look at the albums and show a few other options. If you hover over an album, you'll see that 3 little dots appear in the corner. This is a menu where you can either rename the album or delete it. So another management tool. As previously said, the yearbook photo albums contain the images that are available to add directly to your yearbook pages. Only team members can add photos here if they have permission. The editors and editors-in-chief have full permission, and they're able to triage and decide which images should make it into the book by managing them. Now, you can also receive photos from people who are not working directly on the yearbook. They can do so, upload images from any internet-connected device. But in order for them to send photos to you, the editors-in-chief first have to set up the Community Photo Albums tab. In order to do that, click on Community Photo Albums. The first time you click on this button, you will see that you need to do a setup step. So in order to do that, click on the blue button and set a password. This can be any password, but it does need to include at least one upper and one lowercase letter, a number, a symbol, and no spaces. Let's set this up right now. So we set a simple password, and I'm going to copy that. Once the password's set, you'll see a similar display as to what you found under the Yearbook Photo Albums tab, and you're ready to start making albums. Be very sure to copy down the password because you're going to need to send that to your community members who need to access the community photo albums. To add a new album, simply click the New Album tab, give the album a name, and add the album. We'll add a few. Notice how all the albums have a little green link underneath their names. This is to show that there is a web link available for these particular albums. If you click into an album, there are no photos, and also note that there's no way to add images directly into community photo albums from your book itself. To get community members to contribute photos to these albums, you'll have to send them one or more website links to access the folders, and as well as the password that you set up. Notice that the little green link underneath here indicates that this folder and this one are all available for photo contributions. To get the website link for a single album, click on the little menu icon on the top and click Get Shareable Link. Right now, the link is on. If you have enough photos or have a deadline set, you could turn this off. And this means that the folder is no longer available for upload. Notice how the little icon on the actual folder has turned red as well. But you can switch that back on if you need to. The website address for this folder is here. You can copy this and send it via text message or via an email to whoever needs to access the folder to contribute. You could just copy this link, paste it into an email or your text message along with the password to access the community photo albums and send that off to whoever needs to share their photos with you. If you need to send more than one community album to a person, you can click on the icon at the top of the community photo albums and click on the copy sharing links. This will give a list of website addresses that they can access to either access every single album in the collection or one album at a time. So you can copy this information and send it off in messages with the password to anybody who needs to access. For now, we're going to copy the link to get to all the photo albums. Perhaps we're sending this to a teacher or a librarian who works with multiple grades. Let's take a look at this from the perspective of a community member who's received the website address and the password to access the community albums. They simply need to access the website. In this case, it was for the entire collection of community photo albums. Click into any of the albums, and then they'll be prompted to type in the password that you provided. They need to agree to the terms of our upload policy, which they can read in full. Once the password's been correctly entered, they'll now be inside of the selected folder. They can click on Upload Photos. In this case, we happen to be pointed at the grade 1 selection. We'll just add a few and open them. These will upload, and they'll only be able to see these photos during the current session. If they go back into the album later on, they won't be able to see any other photos that have been uploaded by themselves or by other contributors. Again, it just takes a few seconds for the photos to go up. You can take a look at them coming in. Progress bar appears underneath, and now the upload will complete. They can add more photos at this time, or in this case, use the navigation to go back to add photos to the other collections. Meanwhile, back at the yearbook app, you will see that the images have uploaded. As the editor or editor-in-chief, you can go into the albums and take a look to see what community members have contributed. You'll see the large versions of these photos, and then you'll be able to manage them. Now, in order to use these in actual yearbook pages, you're going to need to transfer them to the yearbook photo albums. This is to ensure that your team members only receive photos that have been approved by either the editor or editors-in-chief, and they are available to the staffers or other members of the yearbook team. So you can either select all photos if everything looks good, or you can select or unselect individual photos. Let's just say that we will be transferring these selected items to the actual yearbook. These are the images that we wish to use. So in order to move those into a folder where the team members can access them, we'll have to click on the Move Photo option at the top. You can either select from an album that you've already created, or you can create a new album, which we'll do. So we're going to create a new album called Grade 1. And then move the images. This will just leave the two photos that we didn't select in the community album. And if we toggle back to the yearbook photo albums, we'll see now that there is a 4-photo collection of grade 1 images that are available. We can return to the community photo albums and continue to take a look at these. You can click on the menu item up here to disable uploading to all the albums when you're finished receiving contributions. You can re-enable it, of course. And you can also reset the password to access the community photo albums collections in case you have misplaced the original one. Note that if you do this, you'll need to resend out the password to any contributors who have already received an email. Just like in yearbook photo albums, you can delete photos You can download photos. You can sort them by the same alphabetical or upload time, ascending or descending. And you can also rename photo albums and delete photo albums. Same management tools across both sets of albums. The only thing to keep in mind is that no one can see the photos in the community photo albums when they're editing a page, and everything needs to be moved safely into the yearbook photo albums, all approved and ready to use on your pages.